Hi everyone, my name is Steph, this is the Novelty Corner, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my December reset video. I'm not quite sure what is going to end up in this video because it is a little bit hectic at the moment, and I'm trying to film this so that it can go up on December 1st, which means I'm filming this on the 25th of November. There's 5 whole days left in the month of November, so my wrap-up stats are going to be affected by that a little bit, but that's okay. We will survive because we want videos to go up on time. If you haven't seen one of these reset videos before, I have an entire playlist of them. It's essentially where I give a very brief wrap up of my previous reading month, and then I talk about my reading plans for December. And my reading plans include some books that have to be read because they're either for review or for projects or things that I'm reading with friends. And then everything else is things that are on my radar that I would like to read, and if I get to them, fantastic. If I don't, it's totally fine because I'm a mood reader at heart, and sometimes I just need to go with that. And I don't know how December is going to go at this point. I still have 20 days left of work, so anything could happen. So as of the 25th of December, I have read 57 things this month, including a mixture of adult and kids titles, fiction and non-fiction, and a variety of genres under fiction as well. It has been the Australian Readathon month, and I have read a lot of Australian authors, and I'm so happy about that. I've read a total of 10,522 pages, and I've had 2 rereads, which were Not My Type by Evie Mitchell and Origins by Lona, which was an unintentional reread because I thought I'd never read it, and it turned out I had. A fairly small reread month, which is totally fine. If we think back and go, did I read my TBR? Well, yes and no. My TBR was massive because I just basically pulled all of my Australian authors out that I hadn't read yet and had them ready to go. But I have read the majority of the things that I wanted to read, and I have hit every prompt on the Australian Readathon bingo board multiple times over. So I am very, very happy with my reading from November. In terms of my favorite books from last month, I really loved the Red Dirt Heart series by N.R. Walker. I read books 2, 3, 4, and the novellas, and absolutely had the best time. I loved it. I also really loved our group book pick, The Boy from the Mish by Gary Lonesborough, and this has a different name in the US. I will leave both covers on the screen so you can see them. This is a fantastic queer young adult story written by and featuring First Nations people. I've also really loved diving into the Fae Guardians series. I finished off the season of the wolf. I have read the season of the vampire, and I am planning on reading this week that this video goes up on reading the season of the elf trilogy, and I'm waiting for book 3 to arrive. It's on its way, and if I do that, I will be current and up to date, and I will have ticked that off on my series I want to read in 2023 until the next books come out. Fingers crossed I get that done this month because that would be amazing if I do. That's 8 books from that series, plus a novella. And also a late entry into the November favorites was Kill Your Husbands by Heath, which I received earlier last week for review from Alan and Unwin, and it is his new book that came out on November the 28th. It is a crime story set in Australia. It is linked to Kill Your Brother, which was a previous book that he'd written and I'd reviewed, and I had a great time reading it. It's not often now that I sit down and just read a straight up crime fiction novel. I had a wonderful time with this. I will pick up anything Heath writes, especially his adult crime books, because they are awesome and they just work for me. I've also read plenty of other amazing things, including a lot of kids titles and things like that. They're all over on Little Bookish Teacher if you're interested in more information about them. In terms of my priority reads in December, I don't have heaps of priority reads. There are some things that I have to read for review, such as Dark Air by C.S. Pacat. This was sent to me by Alan and Unwin, so thank you very much to them. This is the follow-up to Dark Rise, which I did read. This was unsolicited, but I will try and read it. I know a few people have asked me to read some more C.S. Pacat. At the moment, this is the only C.S. Pacat series that I'm reading, so I'll read it and review it as soon as I can. This came out on November 28th. I'm also really behind on reviewing this book because it came out the end of October. It is The Impossible Secret of Lillian Velvet, A Kingdom and Empires book by Jaclyn Moriarty. I have read all the other books in this series. It's a chunky middle fiction fantasy-ish story. I need to sit down and read it, and hopefully I will get to it sometime in December. My other priority reads are these are ones I've kind of set for myself. I have one more series to finish up on my, I think it was my series to finish in 2023 video. I'll leave that linked on the screen. And it is Final Offer by Lauren Asher. This is the last book in the Dreamland Billionaire series. It is chunky, but these tend to read fairly quickly. So I need to get to this because then that is done before the end of the year and I will be thrilled. I only DNF'd one series in that entire video, so Go me. The rest of these are just sort of priority books off my TBR that I would like to read. So there is Kiss Her Once for Me by Alison Cochrun. I read The Charm Offensive earlier in the year. This is part of, I think, is it part of the same? Might be part of the same world. Anyway, I want to read this. It is supposedly holiday themed. That is a December book for me. And also because I haven't read it yet and I need to, is Better Hate Than Never by Chloe Liese. My friends and I are doing a buddy read of Pucking Around. This is the ginormous special edition book that arrived this week. You guys would have seen in my vlog that I unboxed this. I'm going to be reading this and listening to the audio and annotating in this one. I don't think I'm going to tab this one. I think I'm just going to write all over it. That is my plan. So I haven't decided whether or not this is going to go as my annotated vlog, my book annotation vlog. It's probably not. I think I'm going to pick something else, but I will be annotating this. So if you would like me to film any of the annotations of this, let me know. That will be my third read of Pucking Around, I think. Anyway, we've got a reading schedule. Izzy and I have read it a couple of times, but none of the rest of our friends have read it. So we have decided to read that in December because of course we have. It's not like there's nothing else going on in December. The other thing I would like to try and get to is Cruel Seduction by Katee Robert, because I've had this sitting on my TBR shelf for ages. I haven't read it and I would just like to be current and up to date with the Dark Olympus series. Can we tell it's the end of the year? My brain does not function properly. Okay, I have a review copy of Playmaker by Avery Keelan coming as well, so I'll be reading that. I should be getting that at the end of November, so fingers crossed I already have it because it comes out very early in December. I will be participating in the Queer Lit Readathon. I haven't picked my TBR. I'm just going to go through my queer titles and read what I feel like during that week. I think it's from the 3rd until the 9th of December. There are a few holiday themed books that I would like to try and get to this year. So on my list of things that are on my radar are Merry Christmas Cupid and Holiday Heartstrings by N.R. Walker, which means I will have finished her holiday series because book 4 just came out. I've enjoyed the first 2 books in the series. I read them last year and it would just be nice to continue because I know they're quick, easy, light reads. I want to read Wrapped by Rebecca Weatherspoon because it's been sitting on my TBR for ages. Totally Frosted by Zoe Indiana because I need something bonkers in there as well. Why not? And I also have From Snowball Fights to Hot Summer Nights by Ren K. Morris. So I enjoyed my Ren K. Morris book that I read last year. I would like to read another one this year just so that I'm keeping up with their work. My members pick vlog is going to feature a second chance road trip for Christmas by Jackie Lau. So my Bookish Stars members voted on this. Here's the poll. It's going to feature in a members only vlog in December because I am on the Jackie Lau train now. we're just going to keep on going. So essentially like that's what's on my radar, what's going to go into the TBR basket for December, and then anything else is going to be filled in with whatever it is that I want to read. Obviously there are going to be some kids titles in there and I will probably get a few early January releases that come through mid-month, so they will probably go on the TBR as well. So yeah, that's basically where I am in terms of my TBR. In terms of things that are on my radar because they're being released in December, so there is a Pucking Good Christmas by D.L. Galley, which is a hockey romance that's coming out. I don't know all that much about it. I just saw the title and thought, oh, that looks interesting. Playmaker by Avery Keelan is coming out on the 4th of December. It's the 4th or the 5th. Anyway, it's around that time. There is Raiders of the Lost Heart by Joe Segura, which is on my radar. I'm going to wait and I'm not going to read it in December. I'm going to wait and see what people think of it first. I do love the cover though. It just looks like all of those rompy pseudo archaeology adventure movies. And someone will read it and I'll hear about it. The 9th book in the Holy Night series by Lee Jacko is coming out apparently on the 12th. So I don't know what holiday it will feature, but I'm excited. And also on the 12th, there is a book called Game On by Ceresia Glass, which looks to be like a gamer romance. And I have enjoyed those this year when I picked them up. Those are all that's on my radar so far. I'm sure there'll be other things that pop up throughout the month, but that's where I am at the moment. Alrighty, I said I would pick an annotation book. So let's bring out the Scratch TBR for annotation videos. Will it be kind to me? I actually can't remember what's on here now. It's been a while. So which one will we go with? They've been shuffled. We'll go with this one. All right. Do I have a coin? I do have a coin. I have a decorative coin. Let's use the decorative coin. This is not what its intended purpose is. Which one is this one? Oh, this is the Lost and Found Gina Maxwell coin. Not what this is intended for. Yes. Okay. I am not mad about this at all. It is Gravity by Tal Bauer. So yes, I will be doing this. So now let's fill the TBR basket. that essentially brings us to the end of this month's reset. It is well, I'm assuming it's probably a much shorter one than it was last month, because last month was a lot. But of course, if you thought that I was going to, you know, not read Australian romance authors, that's not happening. They will still feature fairly heavily through various books and things that I'm currently reading, and they will pop up next month. And I actually have a lot of content, and you're going to see as I set up my December filming schedule in Evernote in a moment. I have a lot of things coming in December. There's going to be slightly more videos, particularly that week between Christmas and New Year. There's going to be a few extra videos that come out for anyone who's interested around things that are coming up for next year. My digital reading journal, the new update and a new free download is coming. The 2024 reading spreadsheet that I use, I'm updating it, and I will make that available to people as well. Those are things that I do that are pretty standard. Also, from January's reset, there is going to be a new way that I select a theme of books for the month. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to have a setup for how I'm going to do that. I had some great ideas that were suggested to me for something, and I've twisted it slightly to make it about my reset videos, because I really enjoy the reset videos. They're fun. I'm going to have my Evernote set up, as well as my December reading journal pages set up for you. I hope you enjoy it. If you have stuck around for this entire video, feel free to leave me your favorite holiday themed emoji. It doesn't have to be December holiday theme related. It can be any kind of holiday. Feel free to leave me that down below. Otherwise, let me know what you're planning on picking up in December. I would love to know. I hope that wherever you're on the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, everyone.